Round 11 of the F1 season is here. The previous 10 rounds has given us some food for thought. Let's go on to round 11, Hungary. Oh yeah, no, that sounds like a great spot. Yeah, no, I'm happy for that. Yeah, no. So what? Food reservations for 6. Oh hi, sorry, I didn't even see you there. I'm just making my food reservations. Do you get it? Because it's Hungary. Let's go.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
14 corners, 2.7 miles, and an awful lot of bad puns coming from me is what comes up this weekend. Now, Hungary's been described as Monaco without the walls, which you'll hear 400 times this race weekend. Croft will say it in P1, P2, and P3, and maybe even the race when someone gets a little bit close down the pitch straight. Obviously, with that narrow wall, famously Schumacher incident where he almost pushed, I forget which driver it was, but he almost pushed him into the wall when they tried overtaking, and he said it was very dangerous. That's a very notable thing about Hungary's track. Other than that, 2021 with Bottas going bowling and Hamilton being the only one on the grid, famously won by Alpine's Esteban Ocon. He will not be repeating that win this weekend in the Haas, because Haas is Haas and Haas is mid, and Haas is not even mid, it is below mid. They will. I don't think they're bringing any upgrades, unlike McLaren, who are bringing upgrades to this race. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri will be a lot more racy this weekend. They were very racy last weekend in Spa. It's about to get a whole lot better for them, and this track could help Ferrari due to their small turbo. And this being a track, you don't want to be a Williams because they turn like a boat. You want to be a Ferrari. You want to be quick off the line. You want to be quick out the corners because it's very stop-start this track. It's very fast straights to slow corners, lots of low and medium speed. It could be a good one. Let's get into it. Now, before we begin, let's do a little recap of Spa. If you haven't seen my Spa video, go check it out. The predictions may have been some of the roguest predictions and worst predictions I'll ever do, but ends up not being that bad all in all. There were some predictions that were a bit dodgy, Perez P10, but mainly they were okay. Spa it had terrible TV direction. Hopefully, we won't have that now. I mean, the track's a lot shorter. You can see the track pretty much all the way from where the TV directors will be. They'll have better view of it. There's not as much to have a look at because everyone's usually in the same space. Well, throughout the field, they'll be spaced out in the same places. I'm imagining it'll be quite heavy for DRS trains, this track. Although, with the short nature, don't be surprised if you see some crazy dive bombs into turn 12, for example, coming off of the quick right-hander of 11 down the hill a little bit into the slow right-hander of 12. Don't be surprised to see some moves there. Don't be surprised to see some moves going into turn 1. That's where we usually see them. Turn 1 and turn 2 are the main overtaking spots, really. Other than that, throwing a move into turn 4, good luck to you. It might not end up very well. A couple of drivers have spun there before in the past on turn 4. Other than that, it's not really an overtaking corner. It's very narrow. It's very quick. Obviously, we have 70 laps of this race. It's a high amount of laps because it's a short circuit. It could be an eventful one. Hungary usually throws up a good race. It's usually very entertaining. You look at it, 2021, great race. Last year, it was a good racing strategy. Well, not great racing, but it was tense. It was close. Obviously, Lando Norris taking the win ahead of Oscar Piastri because Lando did the one-stop race and made those tyres last. Piastri won 2024 after Lando gave him the position back, which was very nice of him. So it's been McLaren the past 2 years. McLaren, with their upgrades this race, could make it 3 in a row. Do not be surprised if that does happen, as Norris was looking very, very quick. And to be fair, so was Oscar until the damage with Charles. It could be a struggle for Mercedes. They weren't the best around Monaco. They were very, very vulnerable to the rest of the grid, and the rest of the grid has improved their cars. So if there's going to be a track where Mercedes struggle from now till halfway through the second half of the season, it will be this one, as Monza should be a complete wipeout for Mercedes with their better battery on the grid. They don't have the best engine. That was Red Bull and the Red Bull Ford, according to the ADIO. Is that how you pronounce it? Is that what it is? They've got the best combustion engine, but Mercedes obviously the best package, go along with their battery and their turbo. So be prepared. We may not see an Antonelli or a Russell win. We didn't see a Russell win anyway. That doesn't happen very often this season. But we may not see an Antonelli win. This could be big. This could be good. This could be absolute cinema. Let's get into the predictions. The drivers 12th to 22nd pretty much speaks for itself. There won't be too many surprises in here. It's meant to stay dry, so dry running. This is how I think it will really go. I don't see too many differences in what I predict, what can actually happen. Stroll dead last, pretty much a banker. Although the Aston upgrades are coming in, don't think they'll be that effective. They need to find like 5 seconds of pace. I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll get enough to be competitive with the Cadillacs, but that's about it. I don't see them getting crazy better from there. Call me pessimistic and not believing in the Adrian Newey project, but that's just where I see them. 21st Bottas, meh. 20th Alonso, better than Bottas. I think he'll find a bit more than Stroll. I think he's more likely to not make an Aston Martin backroad lockout, and I think this is the track to do it at, as he was quite good at Monaco. They're fairly similar in terms of top speeds and driving styles with the slow corners. I think he could outqualify Bottas. Then Perez, Ocon, Albon. Enough said, pretty safe guesses. Albon driving the absolute boat of a Williams. Not really going to be challenging too much. Same as Sainz in 16th. I don't see him getting too much further up. I don't see them challenging too high up. I don't see them doing anything. I think they'll just be slow. 15th Behrman, better than Ocon, but that Haas is not great. 14th Hulkenberg, not showing too much pace recently, so can't warrant putting him any higher than that. 13th Colapinto, showing a good bit of pace. I just think the drivers ahead have shown a bit more recently. In like if you include the last 5 races, course of the season even, not just the last race where he obviously was quite quick. 12th Bortoleto, good quality from him. It's probably not the best, but I don't see Audi being the best round here because their chassis is not the best on the grid. I think their chassis is slightly worse than Alpine's. Their power unit though has been performing a bit better in like the tracks like Spa. So I think Bortoleto will jump down from his highs of Spa and end up in 12th. Let's get on to the top 11. Okay, and 11th I've got Colapinto's teammate Gasly. I don't see Alpine being the 5th best team. I think they'll go back to RB again because RB's upgrades proved to work and work very, very well in the hands of Arvid Lindblad. Of course, Lawson didn't have those upgrades for Spa, so we'll see how he does. But in 10th, I've got Lawson. 9th, I've got Lindblad. I think Lindblad, he's been used to these upgrades for longer. He'll get suited a lot quicker to the track. He'll be able to tune his setup. That's why I think he'll get ahead of Lawson in quali. Whether it happens in the race or not is a different matter. 8th, Hadjar. I don't know. It's hard to predict Hadjar, obviously, with everything that goes on, but he took his penalties last round. So yeah, I just think P8. I can't really put him too much higher because at the end of the day, do I think him and his car and his package is a better package than the other drivers? I don't think so. P7, Russell. It's been a horrible season for him so far. I don't see it changing. Mercedes even don't seem to want to change too much about his car. Whenever he has an issue, it seems to stick and last. And it's been the same thing all season. The battery deployment, because that's not all driver now. That's quite a lot of it is the car, and his SoC is not really working too well for him, and that's really letting him down. 5 Piastri. Upgrades in. I just think the other drivers will be quicker. 5th Hamilton, 4th Leclerc. Low for the Ferraris, but I think on 1 lap pace they won't be there. I think maybe on the start they'll get a jump, and in the race they'll show better pace, but quali pace I don't think it will be there. 3rd Norris. Upgrades working for him. He showed a lot of pace around Spa. He's obviously won at Hungary before. Why not? He should show quite a bit of pace here. P2 Antonelli. I've gone for this race being the first non-Mercedes pole for a Grand Prix Sunday all year so far, which means in P1 I've got it to Max Verstappen getting pole position for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Obviously Max not the best qualifier, actually quite a poor qualifier for a driver his calibre. He's never really turned up for qualifying. He's had a few good laps like Monaco 23, but overall Max Verstappen is not a good qualifier. But I believe when he wants to pull off a lap like he almost did in Monaco, it will be Hungary that he gets pole at. So I've got Max Verstappen on pole for the 2026 Hungarian Grand Prix. Okay, now for the top 10 on Sunday. I thought I've got to be a bit different this week, similar to like it was in Spa. I've got to predict something crazy to happen.
The game's gone, innit? The game's gone.
The game's gone. The game's gone.
The game's gone.
Game's gone.
Where is it?
Where is it?
In a final, not in a game. And the Oh, what about that? Send him off! Send the drifting gate off! Get him off the field! That was diabolical!
So I am. We'll run through the top 10 now, starting in 10th. It's not Sergio Perez. I've learnt my lesson. Do not believe in Cadillac. The Americans sell you lies. P10, Pierre Gasly. I just think he'll have a decent race. He always seems to around Hungary. He's always fairly quick. And he's been due a good race in a little bit, so I think he'll come now. P9, Liam Lawson. Similar to Gasly. Didn't have a great weekend in Spa. One of the rare off ones. It's easier to predict him to have a good weekend than it is to predict him to have a bad. And I think P9 is probably just about where the RB will be able to come. Because in the top 8, I've got all of the big 4 teams finishing this race. Starting in P8, I've got Hadjar. So I just don't see it being any different. I think all the guys ahead have more pace. I don't really need to explain myself on that one because the others have shown over the course of the season they do have slightly more pace. P7, this is my big shock. Championship leader, Kimi Antonelli. I've got him down in 7th. I've got him having a tough race. I've got him having a decent qualifying, but just getting involved in a bit of a scrap in the race. I don't think Mercedes will be too great. I think they'll be a lot more vulnerable around this track, and it won't take long. A bit of contact, a bit of any bit of shock to the system, and I think it could be. I think Kimi could be in for a tough time. I mean, he's not had a bad weekend he's only had 2 this season. We're on round 11 now, and Russell had quite a few. So I think it will be his time to have that bad luck again soon with that Mercedes engine, and I've got it happening now. P6, Oscar Piastri. Same as qualifying, he'll just be there. It'll probably be quite close between the top 7, top 8. Maybe the top 2 are quite a chunk ahead, but the rest of them should be fairly close, unless there's like any safety car or pit stop dramas. P5, George Russell. I've got no Mercedes on the podium for the first time this season. No Mercedes on the podium is my prediction. I can't believe we got to round 11, pretty much over halfway through the season, unless we get new tracks added on to replace Bahrain and Saudi from earlier that didn't go through. It's been this long without seeing a Mercedes on the podium. It's had to go back to last season before we saw that. It's been so long. It cannot last forever that Mercedes finish on every podium. It definitely can. We all remember 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. Seasons like those where they're pretty much always on the podium, and if not, something crazy happens. And I've got it being this race that not something crazy happens, but that they just don't finish there. P4, Charles Leclerc. He's been doing very well recently. I just think he's not really. He got pole last time in Hungary. He's not a Hungarian specialist per se. He's quite good. I just think P4 will be where that Ferrari in his hands will be able to go, because he's not like his teammate who is a Hungary specialist. P3, Lando Norris. I've got the McLaren's upgrades working. I've got to be able to challenge. Could even be an absolute domination Lando win. I don't think so, obviously, by my predictions, but it's not out of the realms of possibility with his pace round Spa. P2, I had the pole sitter Max Verstappen, which leads P1 to be Lewis Hamilton to win the Hungarian Grand Prix. Hungary is statistically his best track, even better than Silverstone, really, in terms of the success he's had round it. He won round there 8 times before he won round Silverstone 8 times. Although he has won Silverstone 9 now, hasn't he? But he's been better around Hungary for longer. Even with like the 2023 car, he managed to get pole there. He just really suits Hungary for some reason. It's just weird because it never really came off for him in Monaco. Although I think a lot of that was due to Nico Rosberg, or Brittany as he's also known, being a bit of a Monaco specialist. But yeah, I've got Lewis winning Hungary. It's a track he loves. It's a track that loves him. And And I think the Ferrari will be quite good round it on race pace. So yeah, Lewis Hamilton to win the 2026 Hungarian Grand Prix. You heard it here first. So that is my Hungarian Grand Prix predictions. We'll see if it comes true or not. Personally, I hope so I don't get flamed and I don't look like an idiot online. That's the main reason. Otherwise, I don't really care. Obviously, Alex Albon I've got to do terribly, so will I enjoy this race? Probably not. Let me know how you think I've done down below in the comments. Let me know how you think, what you think will happen this race. Subscribe if you're new. Smash the like button. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Am I doing this YouTube thing well? Maybe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.